Here's another installment in Thoughts While Driving. Today we're going to talk about proof of the existence of God. I'm going to borrow really the foundation of this from St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas really hit the nail on the head with his proof. The only problem is some people don't quite get the last part of it where he could have continued on, but I'll be generous enough to help him with that. So, St. Thomas's proof for the existence of God goes something like this. Everything came from something before it, and you keep working your way backwards in history until you get to the final object, if you will, that had to have always existed. And he calls that the uncaused cause, that which has always existed. Now, people have a problem with that because they say, well, how can you say that? No one was here to observe it. Maybe it's the case that it's always been that way. That object, whatever created the Big Bang or what have you, that matter was always in existence. And so it goes. Okay, we'll take that question on. Now, if you look at these cars up in front of me, they'll provide all the evidence that we really need to know that this world was created by a supernatural cause. We'll call him God. These cars, take your imagination and ask yourself a question. What do they really need to exist? Now, sure, they need materials, matter, what have you, but more primary than that is they need space. Could that car in front of me exist if the universe was only as large as my glove compartment? The answer is no. So, if you say that matter has always been in existence with space at the same time, I come back to you and say that's not what our natural experience is. I know people always want to deal with the here and now and empirical science, and that's great. And in this case, it does lead us to the existence of God, because without that space, we cannot have the existence of matter. Again, use the example of the car. It won't fit in my glove box if that's all the space there was. So, before the universe existed, it had to have a certain amount of potential for that matter to exist, which is to say enough space. So space comes before matter. Therein lies the fact that the universe had to be created by a supernatural cause. Supernatural because our natural experience is that you just don't get matter where you don't have sufficient space. Think about that. More on that later as to where that leads us, but for now I hope you can see that the universe was created by a supernatural cause. We will call him God. And we thank him very much. This is Mike, over and out.